One thing I noticed about 4bats is the choice of beats that he uses, bringing back that 90s nostalgic sound. So let me show you some of the techniques that he uses from them days into his production. The first song that really reminisces me of the 90s R&B sound is Another Vase.
Girl, you know that she's so toxic.
It has those luscious keys with some beautiful leads. So I started by using the JV 1080, which was widely used for 90s songs like in Every Time I Close My Eyes.
Girl, it's been a long
I used two sounds for this, so the JV module, and I used this Matrix 12 to have a more tonal sound. Then for the chords, just minor and major ninths. And keeping keys together like in this chord really gives it that 90s tension. Then I added this mini Moog bass to give it that 90s low end character. And just like in Another Vase and Effing You, I wanted to add some layered strings and layered leads, which you can also notice in a 90s track, The Boy Is Mine. So to get that sound, I use its SRX strings. Then I wanted to add that realistic lead over the top with a string. So I did this using this Chris Hines solo violin, and I stacked the octaves to just give it more depth. And just like the leads in the track I mentioned, I started by actually laying down my own voice. Which you can tell doesn't sound that great. Then I just added the reverb and then this talk wah, which really creates a nice lead feel to it. And with the vocal, I just sent it to pitch corrector. And from this, I just got the MIDI and copied it to the piano roll. So to give it that 90s sound, I wanted to use 90s instruments to stack a lead on top of the vocal. So I just used a guitar, a triton lead, and again, a mini Moog. Notice at the end it has that dragging effect, so it's a little bit off time, and you'll see later with the drums how that really gives it that 90s feel. Then I just added this simple wah guitar. Then for another section, I wanted to add that 90s pitch bending sound. So I used a bell, and you can see I used a lot of slide note, then added this delay automation for different pockets. And just like in Another Vase, I wanted to add a little bit of movement to the sample. So I used this pad sound and turned it into an ARP using the ARP tool. And just like in Effing You, I wanted to add those vocal samples. For the drums, I use those 90s sampled TR-808 drums, which are big sounds used by producers like Timbaland for 4-Page Letter.
Mama always told me to be careful.
So for the drums, I played in this simple pattern with this shaker sample I chopped up. You can see how all these drums, even the kick, are off the grid. Then to give it that 90s texture, I added this EQ and little radiator. So I'll come back to this lead to show you how the dragging of the out time creates that 90s swing. Then you can see I just added some chimes and vinyl tape and it all sounds like this.